Yeah. Turbos are cool, horsepower is cool, going fast is cool, all that stuff, it's great. But what good is going fast if you don't look good doing it? There's not a point. That's why there are 3 rules for a reason. Always look cool, always know what you're doing, and if you can't follow rule number 2, see rule number 1. So that's why today we start paying some serious attention to rule number 1, because this arrived. So cat's out of the bag. That's what I bought, a Liberty Walk kit for the 308. And I'll be honest, normally I am not a Liberty Walk kind of guy. I really respect what they do and what they've accomplished, but their normal body kit design language is not something I'd ever put on my own car. However, when I first saw this kit on Kato's own 308 at the 2018 Tokyo Auto Salon, I knew immediately that's something I've got to have in the future, because this kit is simple, it's elegant, it's kind of period correct, and it's very Japanese in its overall aesthetic, and it's honestly how a 308 should look if you ask me. This was something I had planned out before I even bought my 308, and I actually purchased this kit all the way back in November, the same weekend that the car arrived in my hands, and it finally arrived. The guys over at Mastermind helped me bring this dream to life, helped me import this kit into the United States, and it's finally here. So we're gonna unbox this thing. I'll show you everything that you get when you buy a Liberty Walk body kit. We will absolutely poke fun at the fact that this is a seriously overpriced fiberglass body kit, because it is. And we will mock it up on the car because I'm dying to see it, even though it's all white at the moment. We'll have to use our imaginations. And I'll of course explain all about why I did this. So let's start ripping this thing open. Now, while I get this thing unboxed, don't forget, if you're liking this content, if you want to follow along on this build, do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, because that type of stuff really helps this channel grow, and it does a lot for me as a content creator. It's the kind of stuff that helps make all of this hard work that goes into these videos worthwhile, and it'll keep them coming. As far as what comes in this body kit, it's pretty simple. We've got a fender flare for each corner, a 3-piece sort of duckbill lip spoiler for the rear hatch, and then we have the front air dam, valance, whatever you'd like to call it. Simple stuff. We do have one other box that came with this thing. I figure I'll show you guys everything that comes with the kit, since some folks out there are into unboxing. And it looks like we've got the rubber trimming for the edges of the fenders. Pretty cool that they include that. And hardware, which appears to be some nice black button cap screws and what appear to be riv nuts, but I have no idea how these ones would actually work. We're not going to use them because we have a nice riv nut gun of our own, but we'll use these guys. We'll decide if we'll use this. Authentic Japanese plastic. We get a catalog, which probably isn't anything all too crazy. We've got, you know, all of their kits, pricing of their kits, things like that. Hey, there you go. So there you have it. Catalog. We get a certificate of authenticity, which, if you're into that kind of thing, I guess that's cool. All of these stickers with numbers on them for each body part. There's a corresponding matching kind of uncopyable sticker on the parts themselves to show that they're authentic and the real deal. Not too concerned with that. And then here we've got what I have to imagine are stickers. I'm guessing windshield banners, things like that. Oh, and you know what? I guarantee you we've got some other, whoa, dropped those, but it looks like we've got lots of LB Performance stickers. Some black vinyl. Who knows what that's meant to be for. Got a couple other Liberty Walk small guys. A windshield banner, and then the now requisite / iconic "Imagine all the people living life in peace." And as far as I know, every Liberty Walk car has these on the door. They kind of go somewhere like that, give or take. But maybe we'll come up with a more creative place to put these. You know, that's really expected. I mean, maybe bottom of the door, maybe on the front air dam, like where it's flat. Or, you know, maybe we'll use our creativity and put them somewhere like that. Don't get me wrong, peace is a good thing, but I think the stickers are pretty lame. I'm not really interested in kind of being some sort of club or clique. I don't need recognition for the body kit. Honestly, I'd probably rather even just no one even knows what it is, but there's no way to avoid that, so I figured, whatever, put it out there. But stickers will stay in the trash. Don't really care about those. Kind of echoes my feelings on RWB cars. I really like the way they look really cool, and I love what they started out as these gnarly, you know, kind of race car converted street cars that these guys would go out and run on all these Japanese tracks. But it's just kind of turned into this, I don't know, cliquey club of guys all chasing recognition. At least that's what it looks like to me. RWB _ town name, number 1, number 2. I don't think anybody cares except for the other guys doing the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, those stickers will stay in the trash. Let's get back to the body kit. All right, so there we have it. We've got 4 fenders, 3 spoiler pieces, and the front air dam. And aside from being fiberglass, everything looks pretty good. Happy with it overall so far, at least. We'll have to see how it fits. It better fit pretty well for what it costs. But I'm excited to start mounting it up. I think I'm going to start with the air dam, and we're just going to use a couple of clamps to hold it on. I've got some of these really cool, what are called like sheet metal clamps, and you can just kind of spin the back of them and they will clamp down. And honestly, these things are really helpful to have for all sorts of purposes. I'd recommend them. You can find them on, you probably got them on Amazon, but little handy clamps. So we'll use this to hold this thing on by the flanges that it will mount from. And then we will get out the painter's tape and start taping some fenders on. Honestly, the air dam fits really well for the first piece going on the car. I'm really impressed by it. It fits like a factory part and didn't even need the clamps to hold it on. Moving on over to the fenders, and I can say the same thing about them. As soon as I held the first one up, it was very clear that although this kit is insanely expensive, you do get something for that money, even if it's not carbon fiber parts. The fit of this stuff is unlike any other body part made out of fiberglass or composite that I've ever seen personally. Even some nice, expensive stuff meant for higher-end cars. And it's doubly impressive because none of these Ferraris are really quite the same. These are handmade cars, and there needs to be some expected differences between them. So I was anticipating this kit to not fit all that great and to need some body working to really fit up nicely. But when you look at these clips, remember that I'm literally only holding it on with tape, and only a little bit of tape at that. And all of the body gaps are really nice. Everything fits really well. I will have to hand it to Liberty Walk on this one. The fit of this kit is impressive, and if you're dumb enough like me to actually buy one, I will say, at least the thing fits. All right, I just finished taping the kit to the car, and I'm sure my face says it all. I'm at a loss for words. I hope this translates to video because I am inexplicably stoked on how this is going to look. The presence is going to be unreal. Check this out. Now, as said, this stuff is just taped into place. We're just mocking it up. Nothing's cut, nothing's drilled. I just had to see how this thing was going to look on the car, so we mocked it up. With that said, I haven't really decided between color-matched flares or satin black flares, and initially I was pretty much dead set on color-matched. Lots of you guys have been asking, yes, the car will stay yellow. But now that I've seen the flares in place and on the car, I'm starting to maybe lean the other way towards kind of a nice trim black, as it'd be a bit of a more classic look. So leave a comment, let me know what you are thinking on the finish for the fender flares. I hope you guys are loving this as much as I am, because I have not been able to stop smiling since taping the kit to the car. I am losing my mind over here. This thing is sick. But there is a piece to the puzzle that's missing. I want to know what it's going to look like with the wheels on it. And I have not ordered wheels yet. I don't have wheels for it. They need to be custom made to actually fit the kit. But as most guys have lying around, there is a set of BBS E19 center locks sitting up on the shelf. Is it worth pulling them down and bringing the car forward and mocking them up? I don't know. You think that'll look good? Will it look cool? Nah. No, we are absolutely going to do that. Let's see how this thing's gonna look. Now, I will be upfront in saying I don't think that these wheels are going to be the ones that go on the car. I just want to see a wheel on it and kind of get a visual idea of what we're working with here. These are a lot more European in flavor than what I'm after, which is more like a one-piece Japanese wheel. But there's no doubt these are going to look really sick on there, and I'm not going to rule them out entirely. They are still an option. And now this thing's really actually starting to look like a race car. I'm beyond thrilled about it. Getting to see the wheels stuffed up in the fenders like this, it's nuts. I mean, I've looked at this thing for 12 hours already, and I'm recording voiceover B-roll stuff here, and I'm still pumped, so I know I made a good choice. It's also helpful getting to see the wheels in the fenders to get an idea of wheel sizing. These would definitely need adjustment, but that makes sense because they measure out to 18 by 13 and 18 by 14 and a half. They are old center locks off of an Alola race car. So the eventual setup, which should be 18 by 11 square wrapped in 305 Nitto NT01, should fit without much of a problem at all. I feel pretty good about it. Let me know what you guys think about wheels, because if I did decide to use these, the benefit is they are 5x108 pin drive, which would make a center lock hub adapter very easy to make. So now that we've spent a bunch of time looking at it, I know a bunch of you are wondering why this kit? Why not a 288, set of fenders? Why not a Nakamura engineering kit, Koenig, any of the other options? Why did you pick this? And the answer is really simple. It's because I think these fenders look the best. I'm not saying that they are the most elegant solution. A 288 flows perfectly, but then again, it looks like it should. It looks like a factory car. This looks like a 308 converted to be a race car, and it looks very period correct as to how they would have done it. I love the fact that this really reminds me of one of my favorite cars of all time, the M1 Pro car. It's really similar overall, including its overall shape. I'm in love with it. I think that this fender style, this fender shape is going to lend itself really well to what we are doing. And it's also something that people haven't seen before. As far as I know, there's only one other 308 with this bodywork on it, and that's Wataru Kato of Liberty Walk's own car. And that one is a really sleek, slick, bagged show car, and that's not what we're doing. This is only the first set of aesthetic changes that we're going to do because we're building a time attack car. So we're going to have a ton of aero, big spoiler, big diffuser, big splitter, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be even more radically changed from what we're looking at right now. And I think that these fenders are going to lend themselves really well to that aesthetic, as well as letting us fit some huge tires on it. So what are my impressions from the kit after spending a few days with it at this point? Well, like I said, the fit of this kit is honestly wildly impressive. Straight out of the box, it fits up exactly like you would hope a kit that costs this much would do. Now, it's not carbon, and that is a bit of a disappointment, especially considering the astronomical cost, but the way that it fits up, honestly, I don't think could be beat. The only panel on the entire thing that needs any kind of pressing or flexing is the rear spoiler. And that's not to say that it doesn't fit well, it just needs a little bit of motivation in order to follow the curvature of the back of the hatch. But past that, this kit, it surpassed every expectation that I had of how it might actually fit on the car, especially considering these cars are handmade. They're not all quite the same. There are a few little bits and pieces that need some touch-ups, such as the tabs that go into the belt line of the car to make them fit perfectly. But honestly, this kit could be run right as it is, out of the box, and it would fit better than pretty much any other body kit you're going to get your hands on for pretty much any other car. So bravo to Liberty Walk on this one. The next step, of course, is to actually mount the kit, which I'm going to get started on for our next episode on Thursday by drilling the holes and kind of outlining everything, although I don't plan on cutting the car up just quite yet. Although when I do get to that point, it'll be pretty easy because I'm blessed by the fact that this car is just a single layer of sheet metal since it's a tube chassis car. I don't have any kind of patchwork to do to close up an inside and outside layer of metal skin on this car. It's just a simple radius cut. That's a wrap for the episode, guys. Thank you as always for watching, for interacting, being a part of this series. I'm glad to have you all here. I am stoked for Thursday and the episode to come. I will catch you then.